Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Lad on C++ programming. So in this tutorial we're going to learn about the binary files in C++. So first of all, what the heck this binary file is? A binary file is a computer file that is not a text file. So it may contain any type of data encoded in the binary form for the computers can understand. Alright, the main difference between a text file and a binary file is the way they handle the new lines. In Unix operating system, the sentences end with a carriage return followed by a line feed. But some other operating systems saw no reason to continue using two characters to end a sentence, but they couldn't agree on which character to use. Some used the carriage return and others used the line feed. And they are now in C++ called as the new line. So when a file is opened in a text mode, the C++ library converts the single new line character into what is appropriate for your operating system on output. Whether it's a carriage return and a line feed, or it might be a single carriage return or a line feed. And when the C++ reads from the file, it does the opposite. Alright, the main difference between a text file and a binary file is the way they handle the new lines. So in C++, if you open the file in the binary mode, then the C++ is not gonna convert the end of the sentence or the new line to the carriage return or line feed in the file. So always use the binary mode when manipulating a file that's not in human readable format. If you don't use the binary mode, then the C++ library may modify any byte in the data stream that happens to be the same as the carriage return or the line feed, and so that the content of your file may get modified. So if you use a binary file, whatever you write to that file will not be modified. In this tutorial, for the demonstration purpose, we're going to use two functions to operate on the binary files. They are called get and put. So this get and put are going to work on the single characters or a single byte, and that's why we need to create a character array in our program, and let's say input, and let's define a size, let's say 100. Just for the demonstration purpose is enough. And also we have included the C string header file so that we can use the functions like strlen and the strcpy. So here I'm going to use the string copy or strcpy and assign some characters to this array. Let's say input, and let's say learning lad rocks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open the file in the binary mode. So we're going to create an object of the fstream class so that we can read and write to that file. So it's going to be fstream, and let's say file, and here first we need to specify the file opening mode. Let's say anil dot, and let's say bin for binary file, and then we need to specify the mode. So here if we don't specify the mode as binary, the C++ is going to open the text file. So here to indicate that, we're going to use ios and binary, and then we want to open the file for input and output. That's why it's going to be ios in, then ios out, and also we want to trunk it so that every time we open up the file, we get an empty file to work with. So it's going to be trunk. Alright, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to check whether the file has opened successfully or not. So it's going to be if not file.is open, then we're going to say there was some errors while opening the file. So I'm going to use cout, and it's going to be error while opening the file. Alright, let's add a semicolon, and else if the file was opened properly, then what we're going to do is we're going to use the put function, and we're going to write a byte by byte to the file. So here what we're going to do is to loop through all the contents of this array. What we're going to do is we're going to use a for loop. So it's going to be for, and let's create a loop counter variable, and let's initialize this one to 0, and then it's gonna be counter less than or equal to strlen. What we can do is we can create a variable here, before this for loop, and let's call it as length equal to strlen of input. This length variable contains the number of characters stored in this input array. So here counter is less than or equal to input, and then counter plus plus. So here in this for body, we're gonna write to the file. So I'm gonna use file dot put. It's a method which is used to write to the file, and it takes only 1 byte or 1 character. So I'm gonna refer input and the counter. Alright, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna read from this file, and all of us know we need to reset the get and put position indicators, and I'm gonna use file dot seek g, and I just wanna pass 0. We are resetting the position indicator so that when we read from this file we can read from the beginning, and then we're gonna use the get method to read a character by character from this file. So this get method reads a character at the time, so we're gonna need a character variable, and then I'm gonna use a while loop, and it's gonna be file dot good, and here what we're gonna do is we're gonna read, so it's gonna be file dot get, and we need to pass the variable where we want to store the readed character, and then we're just gonna print it out. So it's gonna be cout and ch. Alright, now I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna build and run this program, and hopefully we don't have any error. Alright, we have an error. That's because counter equal to 0, counter is less than equal to input. Okay, it should be length, not the input. I made a slight mistake there. So build and run it again, and this time hopefully no other errors. Alright, now you guys can see learning land rocks. So here we have returned to a binary file, and we have read it from that binary file. So here, just for the demonstration purpose, we have returned this character to that file. So in normal case, the binary files are used whenever you want to write the contents which are not in the human readable format, the zeros and ones, and this is how you guys can use the binary files in C++. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.